What's going on, YouTube? So right now, I'm finally going to be telling my thoughts and my review for Spider-Man: No Way Home. I know this is the late review, but I wanted to. When it comes to, excuse me, when it comes to a big movie like this, I always like to usually watch the movie twice, maybe even three times before I make a review, because I want to gather my thoughts, see things that I might have missed before, kind of thing. Whatever. Like I watched Endgame like three times, I believe, before I finally made my review on my Instagram. Um, I did watch this movie twice. I was gonna see it the third time, but I'm probably gonna wait a little bit longer to see it the third time, or maybe just wait until it comes out on Blu-ray and get it on and watch it on Blu-ray. But I'll do a non-spoiler, a short non-spoiler review, and a spoiler review. I'll let you know when I talk about spoilers in case anyone that's watching this has not seen the movie yet. But I will say this is, in my opinion, the best Spider-Man movie there is. It's better than every other. I mean, as much as I really like, because if I had to choose one of my favorite Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire is my favorite Spider-Man. Probably because I'm biased, but Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man is his Spider-Man movie is the first superhero movie I've seen. It's the first. It's probably the first live-action movie truly that I watched in my life as a kid, and I remember watching it. If it what I mean, I'm not maybe I probably would have most likely gotten into it eventually, but Tom Holland, Tobey Maguire's Spider Man is the main reason I got into superhero movies. Like if it possibly wasn't for his movie, I might have not be into superheroes as much as I am today. I mean, I doubt it, but you never truly know, and so it's crazy to think about. And Spider-Man was the first superhero that I liked as a kid, and he's still Spider-Man is still my favorite superhero, whether Marvel or DC ever. Like it's still my favorite, and he will probably always be my favorite. Because Spider-Man, I watched a lot of Spider-Man content when it comes to movies, TV shows, comic books, all of that kind of stuff. Like I said, I'm a huge Spider-Man fan. I remember when they brought in Tom Holland Spider-Man for Captain America: Civil War, I turned into a kid again, and it got me pumped in seeing his entrance, especially in that trailer for Captain America: Civil War. If only I had my YouTube channel at the time, my reaction was was running around my house kind of reaction. But enough talking. Let's get back to this review. Um, like I said, it's the best Spider-Man movie to this day. I really liked Into the Spider-Verse, but I think, in my opinion, it's better than Into the Spider-Verse, as much as I really, really, really like Into the Spider-Verse. Um, not John Favreau, Willem Dafoe's, Willem Dafoe, of course, is back as Norman Osborn as Green Goblin, and he had an amazing performance. You can argue that his performance in this movie is better than what it was in the first original Spider-Man movie. That's how good it was in this movie. And let's just say that there are familiar characters in this movie that got like, and this is the first time that I had a theater actually cheering, clapping, everything. Like each time these familiar faces came onto screen, my theater would scream, clap, cheer, all that. It was just it was awesome. Like as much as I hate that kind of stuff, I didn't mind this because even I was clapping out loud, and I even when I saw this one familiar face, I literally screamed out yes because I knew right away who it was. Um, what else can I talk about? Oh, and I love how in the end of the movie, and there's now a spoiler, there was someone in my there was someone in the theater that yelled "For you, Steve Ditko," and I thought that was nice. There is an end credit scene and there is a mid credit scene. In case you don't know, I recommend not staying for the end credit scene if you, for some reason, still have not seen the movie. I'm just gonna say what it is. It's already online. It's already online. It's the trailer to Doctor Strange 2 Into the Multiverse of Madness. So you might as well just wait for the mid credit scene and just leave, in case, because most likely you, if you have not seen No Way Home, you've probably already seen the trailer for Into the Multiverse of Madness. It's because, like I said, it's already online. It didn't even post online less than a week after the movie of No Way Home dropped. But that's all I gotta say in terms of a non-spoiler review. It's hard to talk about it without spoiling it. So if I were to give this movie a rating, I'm giving it a 10 out of 10. It is for sure going to break my top 10 list of 2021. I'm not going to say where, but like I said, this is the best Spider-Man movie, and it is my top 3 movies of 2021. But, so I'm talking spoilers now, so like I said, if you have not seen the movie, don't want to be spoiled, leave now. My favorite moments were, of course, when Tobey Maguire's and Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man showed up. Right when the portal scene opened, when Ned was like, I wish we just see Peter, and he opens the first portal, I knew right away that that was Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. I could tell by the lenses. I was like, oh, that's Andrew Garfield. That's Andrew Garfield. It's not Tom Holland. It's not even Tobey. It's Andrew. It right when I saw the eye lenses from the distance, I knew right away it was him. Especially him running and coming in, taking off his mask. That's when my theater erupted, and I loved it. And same thing had happened when Tobey. I will admit it was a bit weird to see the way Tobey entered. He just steps right in. I'm like, come on, you gotta do it with Tobey like that. You can't have him walk in with his suit on. But whatever, it is what it is. And the part where I excuse me, my throat's a little sore. That's why I'm like clearing my throat a little bit more often than I usually do. Right when in the beginning of the movie when Peter was in all the troubles with being accused of killing Mysterio and all that, and his lawyer was Matt Murdock. Right when I saw the cane, I knew right away it was him, and I saw the cane, I was like, yes! Because like I said, I knew right away it was him, and I put a huge smile on my face, and it made my theater. But I was the first one to knew right away. Well, at least I think it was. But I was one of the first that knew right away once I saw the cane that it was him. And even when we saw the face, my theater started clapping. And I saw my first viewing with my sister. She didn't know who it was. She's trying to get into the MCU, and she doesn't know who it was. When I told her, she's like, "Oh, okay," because she knows the show, but she hasn't watched it yet. But anyways, and probably my favorite scene in the entire movie, besides of course like the portal scene where Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire Spider-Man show up, I gotta say it's the scene where all 3 of the Spider-Men are swinging, and then Tobey Spider-Man lands, Andrew Spider-Man lands, and then Tom Holland Spider-Man lands on the head of the Statue of Liberty. Like that shot right there when all 3 of the Spider-Men are just right there, oh my god, like that was a money shot. Like it was just the greatest probably scene. It completed my childhood. I grew up with Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, and in a way Tom Holland Spider-Man. I'm only 23 years old. I mean, I'm still growing up, so but still like to see all 3 of these Spider-Men on screen, it was just a dream come true. Like I'm legit tearing up right now. It's kind of pathetic right now that I am. But it was just crazy to see them on screen together, and like I said, it completed my childhood, because Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man trilogy came out when I was a kid, before I turned 10 years old. Like the third Spider-Man movie, I was 9 years old when it dropped. I was technically a teenager when Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man were dropping in theaters, and I was in the end of my teenage years when Tom Holland's Spider-Man dropped. And now Tom Holland Spider-Man movies are dropping technically as a young adult. It's just crazy to think. It's if you show me a photo of all 3 of those Spider-Men together 5 years ago, I probably would say like that's just only in a dream, and to see it actually happen is just brings a smile to mine and every Spider-Man's face. If you're a Spider-Man fan and you said you did not like this movie, I'm sorry. As much as as much as I respect people's opinions, you're not a true Spider-Man fan if you said you did not enjoy this movie. As much as I respect everybody's opinion when it comes to movies, TV shows, or anything else for that matter. Probably one of my favorite fight scenes in this movie, besides of course in the third act when the 3 Spider-Men were fighting the Sinister Five. Or maybe not even the Sinister Five. It wasn't even the Sinister Five. It was just the villains of the Lizard, Sandman, and Electro. I gotta go with when Dr. Otto Octavius came in and was fighting Spider-Man. And I loved how when he tries to kill Tom Holland Spider-Man and he realizes that he's like, "You're not Peter Parker," because he realizes it's not his Peter Parker. And even though he said it in the trailer, I noticed it in the trailer, and just seeing him say it again in the movie just makes you know, like, he's referring to Tobey Maguire. Like, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that out. And when I say that you can argue that Willem Dafoe's performance in this movie, you can argue that it's better than in the original Spider-Man. It's like he does so many things in the movie. It's like he never left the role. Considering it's been over 10 years since he played that role, because the previous time he technically played the role was in Spider-Man 3. And just seeing him perform it as Goblin, like especially when Spider-Man and him were fighting in the apartment building, and freaking Spider-Man's punching him, he's just laughing. It was a Joker type moment. Like, holy shit, that part made me like my eyes widen, and I'm not gonna lie, I teared up when Aunt May died. I was not expecting that. I teared up. I was right when she got up. I thought, okay, I guess she's okay, because when she got hit in the back by Goblin's glider, I thought she was gonna get killed like right then and there, and not even say a proper goodbye to Peter. But once she got up, I thought, okay, I guess she's okay. But once she said, "With great power comes great responsibility," and she says, I need to like sit down for a second. I can't remember what she said exactly. Right then and there, especially even after she said, "With great power comes great responsibility," I knew right then and there she was gonna bite the bullet. I just could not believe. I was not expecting that, to be honest. It's sad, like freaking hell. And probably the most crazy moment when Goblin did that was when Tom Holland, Spider-Man, and him were fighting on the Statue of Liberty Island. I forgot what island that's called exactly. Is when he said, "No, I just want to kill you myself," and he goes all out on him. Excuse my language. I'm not even gonna curse. He messes Goblin up, and he was about to kill him. He was, until Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man came up and stopped him, and calmed him down essentially. And right when Goblin stabbed Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man in the back, my jaw dropped to the floor. I thought they were gonna kill him off. I was about to throw my drink to the freaking screen if they did. Not really, but once they didn't make it like dramatic, I guess you could say. Then and he stood up and he was just like, "I'm just in a lot of pain right now." I was like, okay, he's just. They're not gonna kill him off, and especially when they just sent him back to his universe. What else am I going to say? Oh, I do like how when they cured the villains, the Lizard, Electro, and the Sandman, I really liked how Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man came in after Electro was cured, and you can hear a silhouette of Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man thing talking to him, and I loved how Max Dillon was like, "If I'm being honest, I thought you were going to be black. There's got to be a black Spider-Man somewhere." A reference to Miles Morales, and I freaking love that. And I also really liked how man, I'm tearing up again. God almighty. I haven't teared up this much, / probably cried this much since Endgame. But I cried more in Endgame than I did in this movie, if I'm being honest. But I really liked how when Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man went up to Dr. Otto Octavius, and he just said and he was saying the power of the sun, and then Toby said, "In the palm of your hand," and Alfred Molina. Otto Octavius said, "You're all grown up. How are you?" It just felt like he was talking to me and a bunch of other people that grew up watching those movies. I can't believe I'm tearing up still. Like, it's crazy to think about. And I love how Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man said, "Excuse me, I'm sorry that I'm tearing up, guys. I'm gonna get roasted in the comics probably, and it'll probably be a meme later." I just love how Toby's response was and when I can't speak right now. When Otto Octavius said, "You're all grown up. How are you?" and Tobey Maguire said, "Trying to do better." It's literally my response, and God knows how many other people's responses, because we've all haven't been the greatest when it comes to growing up. Alright guys, sorry for the weird cut. I thought I heard a knock on my door. Where was I? Oh yeah, I was at the part where Spider-Man, what Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man 2, Dr. Otto Octavius was saying, trying to do better. It's like I said, like it just feels like he was talking to all of us, especially ones that truly grew up watching these movies. Um, Also, the ending was just crazy. Like it's just weird to think about now. Um, Tom Holland's Peter Parker slash Spider Man has no one. Everyone doesn't know who he is. No one knows who he is. He doesn't have any more friends yet. He do, he lost all his memories with Ned. He lost all his memories with MJ. He doesn't have Aunt May anymore. He lost all the memories with Happy Hogan. It's just, and the Avengers. He's no longer an Avenger technically. It's just crazy to think about. Now we gotta, as much as I like the idea, like I like it and don't like it at the same time. Like I like it because now we can see him actually grow up, I guess you could say, and battle his battles on his own without the help of an Avenger or whatever. Or like, because in the first one he had the help of Tony Stark essentially. The second one he had the help of Nick Fury, and in this one he had the help of well, not maybe in the help, a close reference to in some sort of help from Doctor Strange. So now, but what I also don't like about it is that now we have to like restart of him becoming an Avenger and all that. Eventually, I'm sure he will. And now that this happens, that no one knows who he is, I feel like that we're not going to see him in the next Avengers movie. I doubt it. Maybe not. I doubt it, but you never know. But I wouldn't be surprised if we do not see Tom Holland Spider-Man in Avengers 5. It sucks to think about, kind of. Excuse me. Oh, not speaking of, and Tony, I'm not gonna try saying his last name, Flash Thompson. I never cared for his Flash Thompson from the first one to the second one to this one. I never cared for it. I I just don't like it. I don't like it. And I would not mind if we never see his Flash Thompson again in any other Spider-Man movies. I I just he's to me he's not Flash Thompson. From the comics to the animated shows and to even a little bit of Toby's and what's it called? Andrew's Spider-Man. He was he was a bully. I mean, I'm not saying he was a bully in Tom Holland's Spider-Man trilogy. He was a bully, of course, but he was a bully. Like, he was an athlete. He was a full-on bully, ready to put Peter in the locker room type bully. He was huge, like, not huge, but he was buff huge. Like, you look at him, you're like, yeah, he's a football player or an athlete or something like that. And he's not like this in freaking the Tom Holland trilogy. It's what I just don't like about it. He's kind of annoying. Like I mean, yeah, he maybe chuckle a couple times, like in Far From Home when he's like, "You work for Spider Man," to Happy, as well as when in what's it called, No Way Home, when he was like trying to convince Peter to swing him to school and convince everybody that he's his friend. Like, I chuckled a couple times at that kind of stuff, but that's it. Like, every time his character was on screen, I just felt annoyed and it was just like, ugh, let's get him off screen kind of thing. Never cared for his character. Like I said, I would not mind if we never see his character again in any other future Spider-Man MCU movies. The mid-credit scene I thought was awesome. And excuse me, it disappointed me a little bit because I really wanted to see Tom Hardy's Venom, Eddie Brock slash Venom, to interact with Tom Holland's Peter Parker slash Spider-Man, but he did leave Venom. A piece of Venom did stay in the main MCU timeline, so we are potentially going to be getting Venom in Tom Holland's Spider-Man 4. So like, it's going to be awesome to see that. And considering now, in a way, Tom Holland's Peter Parker is alone, he's probably rageful a little bit. He's probably not going to be the same after the events of No Way Home for a while. So it's like honestly the perfect moment to bring in the Venom symbiote for Spider-Man 4 whenever they make it. They already confirmed it's in the work. It's in really, really, really early development anyway, Kevin Feige said. And I'm kind of disappointed about. I mean, I wasn't disappointed at first about the end credit scene with it being Doctor Strange into the Multiverse of Madness trailer, because I did like it. Not gonna lie, but considering Marvel Studios released it less than a week. Like it released on a Wednesday, I think, and I saw it on Friday, and they released it like 5 days later. I'm thinking to myself, why would you make it the end credit scene of the movie if you're just gonna release it 5 days later? Like I could have made a reaction video to it, and God knows how many people. I mean, I saw a lot of reactors making reaction videos to it, and I'm thinking to myself, why are you making a reaction video to it when you already watched it? I'm sure, and you already know what's gonna happen in the trailer. It's like it kind of didn't make sense to me, but I don't care. It's their decision, not mine. Um, because I did read recently that they were gonna originally have an end credit scene where Toby and Andrew were gonna be in their respective their own universes. And I'm thinking to myself, why would you not do a scene of that, end credit scene of that, and like why would you not want to do that? It probably would have taken like a few takes. That's it for Toby and Andrew to do. That's it. The fans would have been more pumped. But it is what it is. Nothing we can do about it, of course. Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man honestly pretty much stole the show. His character, of his version of Peter Parker, and I'm all for on the train. And a lot of people that are saying like, oh yeah, he's the best Spider-Man now or whatever. Like, yeah, where were you when his movies dropped, the first one and the second one? Like, I really enjoyed his movies. I think his Spider-Man is really great. Like Peter Parker / Spider-Man. It's like, and I really, really, really hope Sony considers making the Amazing Spider-Man 3. After all, there is a rumor that they're doing it. There's a rumor that they're considering making multiple projects of his version of Spider-Man, and I really hope they do. He deserves it. After all, he's a tremendous actor, Andrew Garfield. Speaking of acting, not only he did a good job, Tobey Maguire did a good job, but Tom Holland really did a good job. And I see that Sony and Marvel Studios, they're trying to push for No Way Home to be a nomination for Best Picture. As much as I agree that it deserves Best Picture, I don't think it's going to get it. Because considering Black Panther was a nomination back when it came out, and it was a nomination for Best Picture, it didn't get it, and I thought it was going to get it. I don't see a comic book movie or a big movie like that ever getting Best Picture, because the Oscars always choose the artsy films that that don't make much money in the box office. Like, it's always movies that people are like, what the hell movie is this? It's like, what? I always usually try to watch the movies that win Best Picture. I mean, and I always just I can't even finish the movies. It's just, and I haven't watched one for the past few years. And last year's Oscars was at its lowest viewership ever. And gee, you wonder why. It's because they always have nominations of movies that people have not seen before. Maybe, I mean, the only handful of movies that have Oscar nominations are like Star Wars. Very rarely you see a Marvel and or DC movie in there, but it's for like best sound or whatever, and a lot of times they don't even win that. Like, I can't remember the only one I remember was the Suicide Squad, and I think costume design or something like that. That's all I can remember right now. I don't remember, because that's how long it's been since I truly watched the Oscars. Because it just pisses me off about movies, because they always choose the artsy movies that a lot of people haven't seen or even heard of before when it comes to the year. It's just annoying. And God, I hope it does win, so all the freaking people of haters of like Marvel Studios, like Martin Scorsese, can shut up. I'm kind of hate. I wouldn't say hate, but I dislike him, kind of, Martin Scorsese. I did also read that Jamie Foxx's Max Steel and Sassy Electro could get a spin-off movie. I don't know how they can do that, because considering he's cured now, the only way I can see them doing that is if he's a variant or something like that. I did like. Oh, speaking of like variants, it was cool to see the other when that containment box thing break, and then you see like other characters from other universes approaching that are the main MCU timeline. You can see like a figure of Rhino. You can see a figure of Kraven the Hunter. There is even a glimpse you saw a Scorpion, and some people think that they saw Mysterio in the background. So that was pretty cool. And I wonder if we're ever going to see those characters type, because they already confirmed actually Kraven the Hunter movie coming out with oh god, I'm forgetting his name. He played Quicksilver in the MCU, so it'll be cool to see that happen. Um, I also really just this movie was just great. I could talk about this movie forever. This video has been going on long enough, honestly. I wanted to see if I could think of anything else that can be short and sweet. I'm not really thinking of anything else right now. Uh oh, I did like how um they explained why there was snow in the Sanctum Sanctorium, which was not surprising. I figured that's what was going to happen. There were morons on the internet that said like since there was a hole in that building from the events of Infinity War, I'm thinking to myself, it's been 5 years. Don't you think that would have been fixed by now, you morons? So that was explained well, and I really liked how in the grave scene when you of Aunt May when her quote on the grave scene was, when you help one person you help everyone, literally a direct reference to the Spider-Man video game. When Aunt May dies in the video game, that was literally the quote on her gravestone as well. But anyways, that's really all I gotta say for this review. Again, I give this movie a 10 out of 10. Great freaking movie. I'm definitely gonna be getting it on Blu-ray. Can't wait to watch it again on Blu-ray. And it will break my top 10 movies. But anyways, that's all I gotta say for this video. If y'all could do me a favor, please give this video a like and or subscribe to my channel. And I would really appreciate that. And I'll see you all in the next video. Have a good one.